white seats, black piping. Remind me of Paul McCartney and Mike fighting. You feel that?
All right, guys, I have something new for everyone, something I've been working on for the longest, and I finally got it into fruition. It's my very own podcast. It's called Maybach Conversations, but it's really pronounced Maybach. All right, for everyone who really want to know how to pronounce Maybach. I got my man Justin with me. For everyone that don't know, this is my first broker that I signed up with when I became a real estate agent. He's one of the best. He's one of the few, very few that I look up to that's doing major things in the city. Justin, I just want to congratulate you on everything you've done, on all the success. Appreciate you for being my first guest.
It's an honor, dog.
You know,
an honor.
And we're going to drop some knowledge today for you guys. The purpose of the podcast is to talk about business, wealth, and relationships. So I got the man with me today, and we're going to get right into it.
And also, too, look, I know we're about to get into it, but first and foremost, guys, listen, he looks up to me, but we look up to each other. Because when we started out, like, I met you, bro, I think I was like 20s, maybe 30s, something like that. I think 30s.
Yeah, it was early 30s.
I think it was, early 30s. So I've been in the business since I was 21, but I was still growing. And he came, I remember... He was like, hey, Justin, you know, I want to borrow your Bentley to do door knocking. Next thing you know, this man owed so many exotic cars. We in his Maybach. What is it? I say Maybach.
I say Maybach, though.
Right? I say Maybach because, they look, we from Georgia, man. We
exactly.
From the South. We say Maybach. Look, he own it. He call it whatever you want.
Exactly.
But his success is just, man, I mean, amazing, bro. So when I say I'm proud of you, I mean that.
Thank you, brother.
So yeah, it's an honor to be here.
Well, like I say, and he gave me my first deal. So I always know if you need a real estate company, double commission on that deal, my very first deal. So he's a great guy. He looked out for me, and I just want to make sure whatever you need from me in the future, I got you, brother, or in the present, actually.
Vice versa, bro. We fam, so.
There it is.
We've been tight since we first met.
All right, man, so we're going to get right into it. So first, we like to start off each and every show with the bottle of champagne.
Oh yeah, gotta do that.
You know?
Gotta do that. Now, people that know me, I don't drink, but I do sip. And because it's Trey, it's my boy.
Right.
I gotta sip with him just a little
You got to, brother, you got to. All right, we get you some glasses right here.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Guys, these some special glasses, too. Look,
man, you know, these was $1,500 each.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure. You know what? These are unbreakable then. So yeah.
Right.
We good.
So today we got some Bel Air Rosé. You know, shout out to Ricky Rosé for doing his thing with this. It's a pretty good. I like this brand.
Ironically, Maybach music.
Maybach music. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you know, a little something like. So we're gonna start off with a toast. You know. Hopefully I don't mess up this.
I don't think so. Hopefully we don't get up on the suits.
I'm telling you. All right.
Oh shit, hold on, let me see. Damn, hey, well, you know, this is your car, so I ain't really, you know what, let me sit tight. This is your shit.
Got it.
All right, bet.
I do this, baby.
Clearly. Hey, we all aren't able to be in the Maybach.
You know.
Let me stop.
Oh, come on, man. Man, listen,
I
dude here.
I know. Let me stop.
Look, I wanted his car since I first met him, man. He had the Bentley. Now he's got the Aventador, the Rolls Royce.
That's good.
The
Two Lambos.
I mean, motorcycles, Ducati.
Yeah.
I mean, when does it start? And not only that, he's got about 100 properties. I mean,
I don't have 100 properties, but I've bought hundreds.
Yes.
And hundreds.
Yes.
And hundreds.
But currently he got what, 20
properties.
20, right?
Something like that.
Close to 20.
But it's not a lot though. I don't think 20 is a lot of properties.
I mean, it is a lot. I only have 2. You know, so I got to step my game up. Congrats to you, my brother.
My bro.
There we go. We're going to get right into it. You know, I had to give you guys a brief overview of who you guys had in the car. This is someone that you want to mimic.
Really
it's definitely someone you want to mimic and learn about even if you don't want to be a real estate agent, he can teach you how to invest in real estate. You still got the program. I signed up for your program too.
Oh yeah, you sure did.
On how to invest. So you can invest and do fix and flips with this man. He's someone you really want to know and have in your Rolodex.
Yep. So pretty much, I mean, what I do is I invest in real estate, and I'm a real estate broker, but the main thing I do is invest. You know, so I'm buying property, I'm renovating property, you know, we're developing stuff, we're building stuff, but we'll get into that. No, this is your show.
No, it's all good. It's all good. All right, we're going to dive right into it. First off, Justin, Where are you from?
So born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
Pretty much from, Buckhead, honestly. So
You
grew up
from
in Druid
Buckhead?
Hills. Yeah. Like,
Wow.
so grew up in Druid Hills first 10 years, and parents built a house out in Buckhead, and been living in Buckhead damn near ever since.
So you've been blessed your whole life. You didn't really have to grow up with a struggle. It's kind of been, you didn't have to worry about the lights getting turned off and nothing like that. Huh?
Nah, so I never had to worry about the lights getting turned off.
Okay.
I think that everything is kind of in perspective. So, like, my parents did well, but what happened when I was a little baby, my parents started an internet technology company. So people don't know.
Oh wow.
One of the things in order to be successful, like a lot of people, their goal is you want to leave something for the next generation.
Got it.
So you notice that most of the people that have really high net worths throughout the world typically have been left something from past generations. So the goal is to leave certain things. So my parents, to get to the point, they built an internet technology company when I was a baby. And that company did well. However, during that time frame, as it was building, we've seen a lot of struggles. Like, we've seen a lot, because as you know, as an entrepreneur, you go through a lot of different things. So even though we never had to worry about the lights being turned off, we still had to think about, okay, how do you make payroll? And the thing is, and the more successful you get, and I was thinking about this, the more obligation you have. So if you have bills that are around $300,000, right, or $400,000 a month, let's just put that out there, and you only have $150,000 coming in, you can lose everything. So you have a lot of people that play sports, you have a lot of people that are in the entertainment field, you have a lot of people that are very successful entrepreneurs. However, if that income doesn't come in, then guess what? You're struggling. Now, your struggle might be different from your lights being turned off. Your struggle might be like, I'm just gonna lose every fucking thing because no one's gonna lend me money because they all think I'm fucking rich.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
So the thing is that it's all in perspective, but seeing all that growing up really helped me to understand what it takes to run a business and how to be successful today. But to answer your question is, I never had to worry about the lights being turned off until I started working for myself.
All right, guys, you know how important professional photography and videography is in real estate, and I take mine very seriously. The only company I trust is Visually Sold, and that's visuallysold.com. They have the best photographers. They've been shooting all of my photography videos for my real estate projects for years. Not only that, they have a next day delivery, instant booking online, and the quality is outstanding. Get your game up today and get 10% off your first photo or video shoot by using my code, which is Trey, Trey, at visuallysold.com. And that is, again, Trey at visuallysold.com. They will take care of you. Make sure you tell them that I sent you so I can get some future discounts on all of my stuff in the future. All right, guys, visuallysold.com. Check them out. They will not disappoint. One of the most professional services in the business. All right, I guarantee that. Now let's get back to the show. But
we'll
you made some smart investments, so I'm sure you're good on that. But so you grew up in Buckhead. That's amazing, man, to have a childhood like that and have parents that are doing their thing. So you've been very blessed, my brother.
Oh no, for sure, man. I'm so thankful for my parents because they taught me so much.
Yeah.
And they made me appreciate actually coming from something. And I know a lot of people, especially black people, we definitely don't glorify coming from something enough because there's so many of us that haven't had that opportunity. So a lot of people that don't come from as much, they have to glorify like, hey, I came from this background and I made it. And that's amazing. But we also have to keep in mind, now that you've made it, Trey, you have to make sure that your kids appreciate coming from you and not having to feel like, you know what, I got to start over. Because guess what? If you have a set of Legos and your kids are building on those Legos and then you knock it down and then they then have somebody else come behind them and try to build up on those same Legos, that gets knocked down. But the competition, they're building on top of Legos. Then the previous generation comes to build on top of Legos. And the next generation comes to build on top of Legos. That means they built more. So we have to make sure that we really put into the mindset of our children and our youth that, guys, building upon something is okay.
That's amazing, man. I'm glad you said that. So that message I get from that, leave something behind for your kids so they can leave something behind for their kids and start building generational wealth. That's somewhere where we lack at, and the best way to do that is by having real estate, because the properties tend to, for the most part, go up in value unless it's a recession or something like that.
Yeah, and even still, you can still, hey,
you still put a tenant in there,
and you still gonna make money,
yep.
even when it is a recession, because you might get it still for a lot cheaper,
yep.
and then it's still gonna come right back up.
All right, so Justin, I want to get into, you started at 21 in real estate, which is amazing. I wish I would have done it. You know what? I was going to do real estate at the age of 22 actually. And I had to choose between selling houses and selling cars.
I remember.
And I needed money right then and there, so I chose to sell cars. I wish I would have did what you did and started selling houses. But when you started at that age, from where you are now to from there, what were some of your setbacks, some of your struggles, obstacles that you had to go through?
So what happened, I wasn't even supposed to be in real estate. So I was supposed to take over my parents' internet technology company. So what I didn't say is, when my parents built this multi-million-dollar internet technology company, my parents had a bad divorce. So everything was gone. Everything my parents built, all the millions, everything, it was gone.
Wow.
So everything was virtually kind of lost.
Was it because of the divorce?
Because of the divorce. So me and my brother had to start from scratch. So I'm over here, I'm in college, I'm 19.
And shout out to his brother, Brad. We see you, baby.
Brad, we see you, Brad.
Brad is a good guy too, man. Make sure you check him out. But go ahead, keep going. And he was just on Squid Games, which is
Squid Games, Ninja Warrior, all that type of stuff.
Right, exactly. All right, keep going.
So we had to start from scratch. Just because, like I said, my parents were trying to build it for us, but the divorce messed it up. So next thing you know, I'm in college. I'm supposed to be taking over this business, and it's not there.
Yep.
So my mom was always a real estate broker.
Got it.
And when we were buying property, she got her license so she could keep the commission to herself. So what ended up happening, when I came out of college, that business wasn't there. It was 2005, just turned 2006. I said, let me get into real estate because I saw these people driving Ferraris and all these Bentleys, and everybody's balling in real estate. Everybody's doing their thing. Back then, it was just like the Wild Wild West. You can pretty much make money off of just breathing air in real estate because there was not much regulation. So I said, let me get into the business. But when I got into the business, the market crashed. So now I have properties that I bought, before the crash. My credit's at 400. I can't pay my bills. I didn't make money for 2 years. So when I was 21, I closed one deal. After I closed that one deal, I made 25 grand. I didn't make money for almost 2 years after that. So I was living off my credit cards.
Oh man.
I had a foreclosure. My brother's car got repoed. We was avoiding getting repoed.
Oh man.
Like I didn't have any means to make, well, I wasn't making money. I was trying to make money, but what I was doing wasn't working. So then I got my real estate license, and like you, I was out networking. I went to all these different professional events and passed out my cards. Then I started making commission, and I took that commission and started investing it. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? The market's bad. And I started making money in the worst market in probably a generation and killing it, because when I failed, when I had all those foreclosures, when I was going through all those hardships, that was God showing me strategy. I had to make money in any market. And I can, get into that. But after that, I just kind of started scaling ever since.
Well, that's amazing, brother. That's amazing. And haven't looked back yet.
Haven't looked back, but I still have my problems. I still have my struggles. But the thing is, every struggle, I thank God for it. And I know you can attest to this, because that's God steering me, or steering anybody in the direction of where God wants you to be. So every time I failed, I've learned so much from that failure. Like, I know how to make money off of any foreclosure. I know how to make money off of any down market, but I wouldn't be able to be in that position if I wasn't not making money for 2 years at night, trying to figure out how I can make money in 7 days just to pay my car notes and just to pay the mortgage. So as anybody, if you're watching this podcast, if you've been in a situation where you got to make $2,000 in 24 hours, how do you do it? Well, I had to learn how to do that. And do you know what I did?
We all dying to know, because I need another 2,000 right now, baby.
So what I did is, back then, I got more strategy, but like what I did back then, because I got my real estate license, I said, okay, the market was bad. People weren't selling houses.
Yeah.
And people didn't like to use realtors because the market was crashed. So I would hop on my motorcycle, I would ride through Atlanta, and I look for sale by owners, right? Because I'm not making any cash. I need money today.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would look at for sale by owners. This is how we got to get a cold call. Remember I teach you how to cold call?
Yeah, I remember.
So I'll look for sale by owners, and I'll find a for sale by owner. This is what I do. I'm going to go ahead and do the cold call because I did shit so much. So for sale by owner has a for sale sign. I'll be like, ring, 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 for sale by owner. Actually, I'll role play with you.
All right.
Ring, 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 you're for sale by owner.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
You pick up. You say,
Wait. I'm the seller.
Yeah, you're the seller. Ring,
Okay.
ring, ring.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, I was calling about the property you had off of Rooms to Go Boulevard. Is that still available?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay, are you paying a realtor commission if I was to bring you a buyer?
You know what? Yeah. I will do that for the right price.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm doing a special rate right here now where I'm doing flat fee listings to where I will charge you $500 to list your property, and you can then get access to MLS, FMLS. Basically, this house will sell if you had the exposure. And I know a lot of you guys aren't listing on the market just because of the fact you want to pay these high commissions. But I'm doing a special right now just for today. You listen to me,
$500 to
$500 other flat fee listing.
Really?
We'll go ahead and get you on the MLS, get you that exposure, so we can go ahead and get this house sold.
Oh wow. When do I gotta have the 500 to you for?
Today.
All right.
But we can get it back. So anyway, bro, I was doing that. So I was doing that because I need the money today. I didn't give a shit about the 1%, 2%. I
Really?
need that fucking $1,000 like today.
I never even heard of this strategy before, bro.
Yeah, because I didn't bring it up to you guys because it was a different market.
Oh,
It was a different market.
And you will list their properties and your
Flat fee
commission
$500. I took it up front. I was broke. I needed the money.
Wow. And then you can, and just as many as you get,
As many I get is
you're
going straight
just
to
gonna
pocket.
keep build up. And so you get about 4 a day to get that 2,000 in 24
Right.
hours.
Or what I do is with commercial. I had a lot of commercial listings.
Yeah.
So I would say like commercials $1,000. So I'd be like, hey, I'll list it for $1,000. And then what I would do is when I got real nice with it, I would just okay, look, I'm gonna do 500 flat fee, but really that's just to get you in the door, and I'm gonna do 1% after it sells. So that way the max you pay is 4%, but I'm taking the 500 up front. And then after that, I realized I didn't need to do that anymore because I had more cash in my pocket.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
What?
so that's what I was doing just to put money in my pocket that day.
Oh my.
And then Zillow back then had for sale by owners on there, so then I go on the phone calling for sale by owners. And back then Craigslist was popular, so I go on Craigslist calling for sale by owners. And then, man, yeah,
that's
I was
amazing, bro.
Yeah, I was out there doing that just to make the money that day or that week.
I'm mad you didn't teach me that.
Well, you didn't need it back then.
I know, 'cause the market was amazing.
back then, like,
Market was good.
Yeah, it was better then.
Yeah,
You didn't need it then.
you're right. That would have been cutting into a lot of commission, but that's a smart strategy in a down market to do.
Yeah,
So
bro.
agents, y'all heard it. He's giving away some secrets, baby.
Y'all probably wouldn't need that now. That's when it's like Armageddon outside.
Man,
all that type of stuff,
listen. If you do that enough, I mean, it makes sense. Money is money.
No, that's facts.
Even if you get one property, if you get 2 properties a week, that's $1,000 a week. That's $4,000 a month.
Yeah. So I got really good at sales.
Not only that, you're building relationships with the clients. You don't know how many other properties these people have. So that's amazing, bro. That just inspired me. I appreciate that. You inspired me by saying that. And actually, I'm glad you said that because my next question for you is, what motivates you? What gets you up out of bed every morning to keep going out and go get it? Because you're an innovator and a creator, and you go get it. So what motivates you to go get to the business?
So being Black American, my dad came from sharecroppers. So my dad grew up picking cotton. His parents damn near was, like they've been sharecroppers for a while. Then we're not that far removed from, what was before that.
Yeah.
And then my mom, her side, they're all factory workers. So I looked at if my parents came from that, sharecropping and factory workers, to create a multi-million-dollar business, and I grew up seeing how they built it and how they progressed, still coming from those humble beginnings, and I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors and of my family, then there's no excuse for me to not only be successful, but for me to be exponentially more successful than them. So that's the thing that really motivates me, because I want my kids to have the same example that my parents gave me.
Right. Wow. Well, that's amazing, brother. And so your dad was a sharecropper, picked cotton. and turn that into a
multi-million-dollar internet technology company.
So no matter your background, no matter where you come from, you can be successful. And I do too come from the struggle, and I know how it is to be around living in the projects and no one has any money around you. You can still become successful. So that's another message of the day. All right, Justin, do you have any morals that you live by? Any standards? Any models that you go by?
Yeah. So I look at it like this. We don't need all this luxury. We don't need the Maybach. We don't need, all the lavish things that we have. The only thing we truly need is food, water, and shelter. Those are the three main things we need.
Okay.
So I look at it like God also gives us free will.
Yep.
Allah, whatever, Buddha, whatever you believe in, it's all good. But I believe we have free will. So I look at life as a video game. Even though I only need food, water, and shelter, I look at it like I can do anything I want because I can test myself and prove to myself that I can do it. So because I don't really play video games and all that type of stuff, I just play it in real life just to be completely transparent.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't worry about failing is because I know that my safety net is food, water, and shelter. So I built enough to where I'm always going to have those three things. So I take a lot of risk just because I want to prove to myself that I can do anything in this world that I want. So why not do it before I go out? And that's really how I look at it. And the more good you do, the more people that you help, the higher the safety net is. Because if you think about it, you and I help out a lot of people and we touch a lot of lives and we really help build people up.
Yep.
So if we're creating millionaires or we're creating people that truly are financially independent by our knowledge, then if I was to fail, I can go stay at your mansion. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's a nice safety net.
Yeah.
And then you multiply that by thousands of people that you're helping.
Right.
You can keep trying to do a lot of other stuff that's a little more risky because your safety net now is probably at the top of a skyscraper somewhere in the penthouse, sleeping in freaking Paramount, Miami. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So,
I get it.
So that's how I go about living my life, just to be transparent.
Got it. So as long as you got the food, shelter, and water, you can take more risk because you have a great safety net. Do you have money goals for the year, or do you? All right, it's two questions actually.
Yeah.
What's your money goal for 2024? How much money do you want to make?
So my goal is to be a billionaire, but I've always wanted to be a billionaire. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty sure that's all of us, like all of our goals.
Mine is 100 million a year.
100 million a year.
100 million.
That's still about billionaire status.
It could. I mean, in 10 years.
Right, but still, So, I mean, my goal is I need to continue to build the businesses that I have, because if you do what you're passionate about, everything else comes.
Yeah, that's a
and
fact.
You can vertically integrate your businesses to where you can build a huge empire based off of anything you love. So I'll give you an example. So for me, when I started out, I got my real estate license as a broker. Well, after I failed in investing, but I didn't fail, I just stayed in the game. But I started off investing. And then when investing was trying to pan out, I got my real estate license.
Yep.
But those businesses go hand in hand because when you're buying property, you need realtors to help you buy or sell the property.
Right.
So now you pair those two. But then I started renovating a lot of houses. So you know what? Let me start a construction business.
Yep.
So then I started the construction business. But then I looked at you know what? I deal with a lot of lenders. Let me get affiliate links with lenders so I can make money off of lending.
Yeah.
But then I looked at it you know what? I need to start development because that's going to go hand in hand with other stuff. So now I'm starting to build mixed-use developments. I'm starting to build apartment complexes, and I'm starting to build more spec homes. So let me do that. But then I'm you know what? There's more I can do. Let me start consulting people on how to do exactly what I do and teach them what I do. So now that's another business, but I can keep going on.
Yeah.
So you start vertically integrating and having multiple streams of income in your particular field.
Got it.
And that's how you can truly scale and make exorbitant amounts of cash, because not only you're doing what you love, but you're also tackling every aspect of it so you don't have to outsource it, and that income comes to you.
Wow. Justin is the man. Just so you know, when you're able to spit it off the top of your head like that, I mean, there's someone you want to listen to. All right, Justin, we're going to move into the next question. Is there anything, first of all, do you have any dreams that you haven't accomplished yet? What are your big dreams or goals that you haven't accomplished yet? Because you've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the food, shelter, and water. You got the wife, the family. You got the cars. You got the mansions. You got multiple properties. I mean, what else is there to attain? Do you have any other goals?
Yeah. So I felt like in order for me to hit that B status, because that's what I want,
that billionaire status.
In order to hit that B, I'm gonna have to go heavy into buying more commercial real estate and more commercial development.
Okay.
So I really got inspired when I went to Dubai, and a lot of people, if you go to the Middle East, you'll see that a lot of the real estate is owned by the royal family. And you have people that are tied to the royal family. But anyhow, saying all that, that's why it's so important for us to make sure that it's important to build on top of what your ancestors built, what your people built.
Gotcha.
But you go to these places, you see like 50, 60 skyscrapers owned by the same guy. And I'm like,
50 or 60.
50 or 60. You
owned
go
by
to
the same
Dubai.
person.
You go to Dubai, you see Emmar everywhere.
I've seen that, yeah.
Emmar everywhere. The guy built the freaking Burj Khalifa, all this type of stuff. That guy's freaking trillionaire. I don't know what it is, but the whole point is you can, and anybody can hit those type of goals, but you have to think, how do you go about doing it? So I look at it like, okay, I need to get into more commercial development. I got to start doing more mixed-use developments. I got to start building, high-rises, because the equity in those things scales tremendously, especially if you go about doing it right and having the right cost to it.
Gotcha.
But also with tech, right? So think about it like with Zillow. You think about it with apps. A lot of times you have to throw a lot of paint in the wall and see what sticks. But if you're doing what you're passionate about, and for example, I'm going to start up a .com and a website in a particular niche to compete with, like, let's say a Zillow or a Trulia, right? So that's some stuff I have in the works as well in the tech side, but it's still all real estate related. So if I can create these businesses that I'm passionate about and scale them, to these high rises and with the tech and everything else, shoot, hey, if it sticks and I hit that B, great. But I realized this though, and I'm gonna say this is one thing that I learned. A lot of us was focused on social media. There's this craze about selling courses and being on social media.
Yep.
I realized you can't hit that B by being on social media. A lot of people, they're selling courses, they're doing a bunch of stuff. But for me, in order to scale, I realized I got to scale down from social media. I got to focus on making money in real life. And a lot of people be focused on pretending like they make money on the gram. So I'm like, nah. So it really distracted me from selling courses, because I'm like, bro, I actually really invest. And you know how some people, like they're realtors, they'll go take pictures with houses, but they're not really selling real estate. They just look nice. They're taking pictures.
Yeah, I used to do that when I first got into business.
Right. It helped you scale, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm like, you know what? Nah, I got to scale away from social media, because that can honestly kind of poison people's minds and make them think that making money is easy. And then you start going back to real life and you start really looking around. You see, you know what? All right, let's get back to reality and let's go ahead and get to work.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing now, bro.
That's amazing, bro. Well, look, that's amazing to hear, because a lot of people think the only way to scale up is to be popping on social media and stuff like that. But I'm glad you said get the money in real life, But at the same time, you do got a huge following, and I'm sure you made a lot of money off social media. Heck, I found you off social media. Actually, one of my boys told me to reach out to you, and he's a big-time investor. So, but you're doing an amazing thing, man. I only got a few more questions for you on the business side. Then we'll get into the marriage side. All right.
Bet.
What do you feel your purpose is in life?
I feel my purposes in life is a few things. Business-wise, I feel my purpose is to show people, regardless of your background, regardless of how much cash you have, regardless of your educational background, you can truly make as much money as you want and it's not that hard to get as long as you have the right people around you, a good support system, and have the information to help you scale through real estate. And one thing that I pride myself is, and you've seen it, is I've taken people that worked at Publix to making $100,000 a month, to people that hate their corporate jobs, to quitting, to doing real estate full time. So I feel that because God put me through a lot with real estate, that I'm now able to help people and teach people how to scale. And it's funny, even since I met you, you know, there's a lot of things that you and I did that I taught you, and then you took it and ran with it, and then you created your own thing and teach other people a lot of stuff that you learned.
Right.
But if you look at even the people that, when you and I started, you look at freaking D'Angelo, you look at a lot of, like, you know, I got him his first construction deal. Now he's doing construction.
Right.
Like, it's a lot of people that, you know, I took, and I'm seeing them scale exponentially. And I could literally go tomorrow a happy man knowing how many people who I helped scale and really be successful, because, I mean, you paved the way forward and God blessed me. So I would say that that's one of the things I'm put here for, is for that. The next thing is, you know, now for my kids and having a family, I look at, I'm put here to mold these children and other kids, because I have a non-for-profit called the Top Fun Project, to where we teach kids from the age of 13 to 19, not only how to invest in real estate, but how to just scale and do well without having to depend on a paycheck. So we have professionals like yourself and all different type of careers and businesses, to where we're showing these kids how to really, you know, be entrepreneurs, and even not just entrepreneurs, but how to be entrepreneurs even in corporations, because you don't have to work for yourself.
Right.
You can still be innovative inside a corporation.
Right. Of course, we're in the car. We're gonna get a fire truck. I want to piggyback off that, because I just started my nonprofit, and it's called the Trey Williams Foundation, and it's the same exact concept. And we're targeting our target audience is young black males between the ages of 13 to 25, to help empower them, teach them real estate, teach them how to wear a suit. I feel like, you know, as a black man, our culture, the men we're the furthest behind. We're the ones we got to look out for, robbing each other, and still, like, I hate the narrative of the black man. Like, we can do better, even no matter where you come from. You got a man here that comes from a decent background, that's had some money. You got a man here that comes from a background that we didn't have money, but we're both here together and we're still both successful. So there's no excuse. And let's stop robbing each other and just be more positive. But anyway, Trey Williams Foundation nonprofit is coming soon. What was yours? What was the name of yours again?
Top Fun Project.
Top Fun Project.
Yep, topfunproject.org, because my name on social media is Top Fun Manager. So we do Top Fun Project.
There you go.
.org. Yep.
So we're giving back. We're helping the community, and let's all do this together. You know.
Yeah.
But not only am I targeting young black males, also target everyone who's going through a struggle. Families, you know, we're gonna put that out there later, but right now it's about my man Justin. And you had one more point to make. You was gonna say about your purpose, I think, right?
Oh no, I think just pretty much like I said, just making sure that youth understand that they need more positive. Same thing that you just said. They need those positive male role models.
Yes.
And they need those, like, you know, truly people that could be out there to pave the way for them and show them, hey, you know, like,
you don't have to rob
there's
or
so
sell
many other
drugs.
opportunities you could do.
Exactly.
To do what your passion is and be successful.
Perfect, man. All right, so that's going to get us into our next topic, which is the married life. All right. How is it being married? Because, you know, I'm single. I'm a bachelor. I need to do better. But
What's up, funny?
How's the married life? How has it benefited you and your life? Or what kind of advice can you give for a single man out there that's either struggling or successful? How can that help them?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is choosing the right partner. Guys, you got to choose the right partner. And I think a lot of times, a lot of men don't want to get married because they feel they have to change who they are. So you want to get with a woman that's going to still allow you to be who you are. Like me, I've always traveled. I've always liked riding motorcycles. I've always liked cars. I always liked a lot of things. And sometimes when you get married, women try to change you. Women, you ain't going to change the guy. You change him, you're going to lose him. So that's the first thing. The next thing is to have a woman that can add value. A lot of times, you know, and I've seen this with so many guys, bro, is that they'll go for looks. They'll go for looks. And looks get you in the door, but what's the value add? And I know you struggle with this. I know I struggle with it, is that you have to have a person that could be a partner. So for me, when I was choosing a wife, I was looking for somebody that can add value mainly because I know I have a lot of different businesses. So my wife helps me run my businesses. So she helps me run the brokerage firm. She helps me, do a lot of accounting. She helps me do a lot of the different things that are the day-to-day operations. So now I'm saving on having to pay a salary to somebody of probably maybe $150,000, $200,000 a year because she's doing that because we're partners. But that's if you're an entrepreneur. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. But you can have a wife that's also a professional, or you have a wife that maybe she's a stay-at-home mom, but she's still adding value because of the fact that she's helping with the kids or the house, however. But, I love being married, man, just because of the fact that we have a good relationship, we get along, we don't argue. I let her be her, she lets me be me.
Amazing, bro. How would you say the married life is compared to the single life? I mean, when was the last time you were single, though?
You know, that's a good question, because even before I got married, I kind of always had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay, so you've always been a relationship type, lover boy.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
You know, I have my days, man. You know how
I don't want to get you in no trouble.
Nah, man, like, my wife knows I was out there, man. Like, I used to be for them streets at one point in time. I had to get it together.
Right.
But, I mean, that's how guys are. Like, when you're younger, you're a young man, you know, and then on top of that, like, I just got all this stuff. And then, and I was at Cornell, and Cornell, they didn't have any pretty girls out there. Cornell's Ivy League, by the way, just let y'all know. And when you go to these high, like, upper echelon schools, the women pickings aren't that great. So when I would go back to Atlanta, I would just have to, remind myself that I live in Atlanta, if that makes sense. But, yeah, man, I had my phases, but, I guess after a certain point, you go on so many dates, you hang out with so many different women, you realize a lot of it's all the same. And I got tired of, like, going on dates with these chicks, and they'd be like, and I'm being cool because I wanted to say some other shit. Yeah. And they'd be like, I'm so used to dating athletes and entertainers. It's nice.
I know,
It's nice to be out with more of a professional. And they'll go name drop the athletes they dated. I know, and then you might know the guys, and the guy be like, oh yeah, I ran through her and stuff. And then you can't call her back because your homeboy didn't hit it and shit. And, but so either way, all this dating, spending money and stuff, you realize like, damn, you can be more successful if you actually have a partner and settling down. Yeah. So I realized that success started to come even more me settled down because you spread yourself thin when you start dating a ton of women because what happens, you got to juggle them all. It's hard because it takes away from what you can be doing on a daily basis. Yes. So imagine if you're talking to 7 or 8 different girls, you got to text them all hi. Back then we could with the Nokia. But then Apple got smart, so now you group texting everybody and shit. You got, like,
can you really do it? You can do a group text like that?
No, you can't do a group text like that. Before you could do a group text and everybody would get it, and then it changed. So y'all young people out there, you guys don't know that.
Right, you're right.
And then a lot of people start getting messed up. But saying all that to be said, if you juggling a bunch of women, then it's a lot of money. It takes away from you actually being able to build your business. So that's the thing. So for me, it's like I started scaling more because I had more time to focus on what was really important. And that was building myself up. So yeah, man, like a lot of guys I know that are similar in your position, it's like, man, these women, man, they be draining dudes.
Oh, especially the new women. These some different
social
type
media
of women.
Oh man.
So
bro, I already know.
So would you say being married, do you think you would be more successful being married or being single?
More successful being married because I think even as a professional, you get more respect off of even being married because like let's say that I'm going to be doing business with a a man's wife, right? Well, he's not gonna be looking at me like I'm trying to get his wife because I'm married. So he's like, okay, you can go ahead and deal with him. But you a handsome looking guy, you single, he might be insecure. And a lot of these dudes
I've
insecure.
lost a deal like that before.
So you know what I'm saying?
I had a listing and she wanted me to come check out the house.
Yeah, met the husband.
And I didn't even make it to the house.
Damn.
She was
So
like,
you see what I
my
mean?
husband, he's not feeling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've lost a deal. And I hear women have to deal with that too.
Yeah.
You know, a beautiful, attractive woman who's single. So, all right. So that's a great point. You know, that's a great point.
It's
And
facts.
I want to be married one day. I just don't know how to choose the right one because, like you said, you got to talk on the phone. You got to go out on dates. That's a whole job in itself.
Well, the first thing you got to do, you be making me laugh. I'm gonna put you on the spot, but what you got to do is when you have your boat parties, you can't put out a APB. Hey, I'm having a boat party tonight. Hey, I need 15 pretty ladies to join me. See, you know,
I don't say 15.
Right? I know, I'm just talking shit. I'm talking shit.
I just say a few ladies. I mean, I'm single. What else I'm supposed to do?
Right. But I'm laughing because, you know, then what happens is you start having to juggle so many on the boat. You could have invited one on the boat and then had that one date. So now when Trey puts out something, he's like, hey, I'm looking for a nice, lovely lady to join me on a private yacht. We're going to ride in my Maybach. And I just want one nice lady to join me because I'm looking for love. In fact, Trey needs a show. because Trey's looking for love.
I do want love.
He's looking for love.
I do want love. But you know what, Justin? I do love my freedom. I like to be able to go wherever I want to go, do what I want to do, without having to say, "Hey, baby, can I go here?" Or, "Baby, is it all right to go here?"
For me, that's the thing. See, I don't have to ask my wife that.
Yeah,
so that's the thing.
You do. You just don't know you do.
Well, yes. So that's true.
And you need to answer that phone when she calls.
Well, he's right. So that's true. But in a sense to where it's like, you know, now I'm like, okay, hey, babe, you know, I'm going to go fly to France. I'm going to go to France for maybe a week, right? But she's not going to say I can't go.
She's going to say she's coming.
She's just, not necessarily.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, if she could. But,
right.
But at the same time, she's cool because she knows that, like, I always like to travel, or maybe I'm doing business in France or whatever. But she just knows that, like, even my dad, he runs marathons almost my dad's ran over 250 marathons on every continent. And in pretty much most countries, over maybe 100 plus countries, and he does it by himself. And he's married. But my dad's been traveling the world ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My mom's the same way.
Yeah.
My entire family, we all even travel solo just because we just always been that way. Sometimes we'll travel together, but my wife understands that that's one of my passions is traveling. So the thing that you have to do when you choose a partner, just make sure your partner knows who you are and doesn't try to change you, because if they try to change you, then that's when you lose a relationship, and that's when people get divorced because they're trying to pretend to be somebody they're not.
Got it. All right, so this brings me to my next question. It's right on time.
Yeah.
How do you endure the tough times in marriage?
Okay, that's a great question.
You know, because everyone goes through it. Nothing is all peaches and cream. So, how do you get past it?
So, like, for me, one of the tougher times me and my wife had was us working together. Because I'll get in business mode and I'll be all stern and shit. I'll be like, hey, look, this is what you do. This is how we're going to do it.
Right.
Then my wife is like, you know, you're not being soft and sweet right now, you know, and then she gets in her feelings because I'm all, you know, businessy. But we just talk it out. Like, we don't argue. We don't yell at each other. We have a conversation. An older man told me, never go to bed mad. Never go to bed mad. Like, regardless of whatever you do, whatever type of heated argument that you have, well, I don't argue, but if you do argue, never go to bed mad. Talk it out, have a conversation, love each other, kiss each other, and keep it moving.
How may I help?
And keep it moving, you know, like, just, and if you agree, you don't agree, come to middle ground, because you can't agree to disagree.
Right.
Like, if you agree to disagree, that means you didn't solve anything. So come to a middle ground and try to figure out where that person's coming from, figure out what their perspective is, because sometimes you might not really understand that they're coming from a place that you really could relate to if you were to put yourself in their shoes. But really, just never go to bed mad and work it out beforehand.
Every night.
Every night.
So never. If there's an issue that day, you don't let it linger on to the next day.
Don't, because then it's going to fester and fester. Yeah.
and you go ahead and handle it.
Yeah.
How do you know? That was my last question, but to
Mm-hmm.
piggyback on that, how do you know if y'all both are so strongly that feel that you are right? How do you get to that middle ground? Like if your wife feel like she's right and you feel like you're right, how do you don't agree to disagree? So what do you do?
You know, I've never had that problem. Only because I can admit when I'm wrong. So if my wife strongly feels like she's right, I'm gonna take a step back and be like, damn, you know what? She might be right.
And the woman normally is right?
Not all the time.
but
not all the time.
60%, 70, 80?
I don't know. I don't know. Because sometimes my wife be wrong.
Okay, gotcha.
So then she'll admit that she's wrong.
Okay. Well, y'all very mature then.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but like I said, I know who I married.
Yeah.
But you got some people that ain't like that.
Yes.
So
a lot of people not like that.
I'm not the type that, like I said, I'm just gonna go off of something and just be like, this is what I said, this is what I said. Like I'm truly gonna try to look at both perspectives.
Perfect, man. Well, y'all heard it from the best. We got my man Justin here. We done started off Maybach Conversations, and my brother, I appreciate you for coming.
Bro, it's an honor, bro.
You gave a lot of knowledge to the people today. I hope this helps when you're in your relationships and if you're single and in your business. So this is someone you want to listen to, you want to follow. Tell them how to reach you.
So all my social media is Top Fund Manager, topfundmanager.com, but every platform, Top Fund Manager.
Got it. And I want to shout out my man Evan here that's recording. He's with Visually Sold. He shoots a lot of our properties. He's got a professional company. Just look him up, visuallysold.com. That's it, right, Evan?
Yes, sir.
Visuallysold.com. He's one of the best. Professional. Get your pictures to you in a great time, videos to you in a great turnaround. Make sure you guys check him out as well. And
go to my page. We'll talk about how I can make money in real estate. I got you. Top Fund Manager. Come on now.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next show.